She was brilliant, beautiful, and full of life. He was quiet, polite, and disturbingly obsessed. In the heart of Paris, in 1981, a horrifying crime unfolded in a tiny apartment. One that would shake the world and stain history forever. This is the story of Issei Sagawa, the man who murdered, cannibalized, and then walked free. How did justice fail so completely? Why did the world let it happen? Issei Sagawa was born in Kobe, Japan, in 1949. He came from wealth. His father was a successful businessman, powerful, well-connected. But from an early age, Issei harbored dark thoughts. By the time he was in elementary school, he already fantasized about eating people. Not out of hunger, but desire. He claimed it started when he saw a classmate's thigh and wondered what it would taste like. These weren't fleeting impulses. They grew into obsessions. While his classmates played sports, Issei withdrew into fantasy, cannibalism, murder, submission, power. He was small, physically frail, and often bullied. His internal world became a refuge in a cage. He read stories like Hansel and Gretel with fascination, the witch who fattened up children to eat them. That made sense to him. As he grew older, so did the intensity of his fantasies. But he kept them hidden behind thick glasses, a soft voice, and impeccable manners. In the late 1970s, Issei left Japan for Paris to pursue a PhD in literature at the Sorbonne. To the outside world, he was just another foreign student, quiet, cultured, eccentric. But beneath the surface, his fantasies were boiling over. He visited sex workers. Not for sex, but to watch them, to imagine what their flesh might taste like. In his journals, he wrote in disturbing detail about his desire to devour women. He even attempted murder once before. In Tokyo, he followed a tall German woman home, broke in with a knife, but she awoke. He was arrested, but his wealthy father paid a settlement. Charges were dropped. In Paris, now alone and anonymous, Issei saw his opportunity. And then he met Renée Hartevelt. Renée Hartevelt was everything Issei was not. A 25-year-old Dutch exchange student, tall, confident, intelligent. She spoke several languages. She loved poetry. She was kind, open, and curious. To Issei, she was perfect. Too perfect. He invited her to his apartment to discuss literature, record German poetry, and share meals. She came often. She was friendly, patient, perhaps sensing his loneliness. But she didn't know he had begun planning her murder. In his diary, he wrote, "I just want to eat her. If I do it, I will finally be fulfilled." He bought a rifle and rehearsed. He cleaned his apartment and prepared a freezer. Then, on June 11th, 1981, he invited her over for the last time. Renée arrived at around 3 p.m. Issei told her he wanted to record her reading a German poem for his studies. She sat at the desk, her back to him. She wore a white blouse. While she read, he quietly retrieved the rifle. He raised it behind her and pulled the trigger, a single shot to the back of the neck. She died instantly. Issei later said, "I fainted, then I came to, and I knew it had happened." What followed was beyond comprehension. He undressed her, raped her corpse. Then, he took a knife and began cutting flesh from her body, starting with her buttocks, thighs, and breasts. He cooked some of it, ate it raw, stored other pieces in the fridge. He took photographs. And he wrote in his diary while chewing her flesh. He claimed, "I had waited my entire life for this moment." For 2 days, he kept the body. Eventually, the smell began to attract attention. Issei packed her remains into 2 suitcases and called a taxi. He rode to Bois de Boulogne, a wooded area in Paris. But he was clumsy. Locals noticed the strange man dragging heavy suitcases into the park. Police were alerted. They opened the luggage, inside human remains. Issei was arrested hours later, back in his apartment. There, they found a scene of horror. Blood-stained sheets, bones in the refrigerator, journals filled with fantasies. He didn't deny anything. He told police, "Yes, I ate her. I wanted to absorb her energy, her beauty." Issei was declared mentally unfit to stand trial by French authorities. He was committed to a psychiatric hospital, not prison. There, he spent just 2 years. In 1984, due to legal loopholes and the intervention of his powerful family, Issei was deported to Japan. He was immediately examined and found not insane by Japanese psychiatrists. But here's the twist. Because the French charges were dropped, Japanese authorities never filed their own. There was no legal basis to hold him. He was released. A man who murdered and ate another human being, free to walk the streets? In Japan, Issei became infamous. Not in shame, but in fascination. He wrote books, appeared on talk shows, made public appearances, even starred in a movie. Some viewed him as a freak, others as a bizarre cult figure. The family of René Hardevelt was horrified. While they mourned, Issei profited. He called himself a monster. But he never expressed true remorse, only regret that the world judged him. Issei died in 2022 at the age of 73. Alone, sick, and broke. But the questions he left behind still haunt us. How did he escape justice? Why did society reward him with fame instead of condemnation? And most chillingly, how many others like him walk among us? Because sometimes, the face of evil smiles and waits.